1v1. Fedred Folly, blue side. Bashful Pwny as a Techmarine starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair, and wade into melee too, and up against Lews Therin as a Warboss, a melee commander that walks through objects on regular offense, disruption and support from the front lines, and eternal anger. It's double shooters for Lews, and Bashful, I think, is going to stick with one scout that he can perhaps use to patrol this southeast and maybe even push the power with shotguns at close range, and then get some tier 1.5 stuff for this northwestern corner where a lot of the fighting takes place. I mean, on this map, the match is usually won and lost in big late game engagements over here on this raised platform. We'll see. Does Bashful get another scout up, or does he put down some generators? There we go. 2 gens, so he's getting, I imagine, some devastators up to help control this Warboss early on, but we shall see. He is a Techmarine, so does have access to that suppression on demand from the mastercrafted bolter, but he's still going to be vulnerable. He can't suppress the sluggers and the Warboss with that at the same time, and it looks like nobody, in fact, is contesting that southeast corner just yet. Both players having their naturals, and in fact some Orks coming to get the Techmarine's natural there. Sluggers have got close enough to the Techmarine to force him to retreat, and it's good. Aggressive early push from Lews, as you'd expect, especially without that second scout squad up and shotguns being passed around. They're going to cap that contested wreck. They're going to get this natural VP as well, so it's going to be a double cap, and immediately goes for the power, does Lews Therin, and rightly so. I think he's got the burners up, so it could burn them down. Garrison there can be used to defend the power with a setup team, if the gens are dropped in the right place, that is. Scouts with a little bit of repair on that generator, and he's got his army together here. Bashful Pwny with the mastercrafted bolter up. Now generally you want to keep your tactical marines near your hero early on as a space marine player. I think tactical marines are great in 1v1 fights with other range units, of course, but they can be vulnerable to those early melee squads, even unupgraded ones. If they catch the tactical marines already slightly damaged, they can tear them apart. Even heretics and the full Cormorgants can be dangerous. Suppression there from the big shooters of the shooter boys, doing that almost 15 DPS on each of those big shooters, and you get 2 of them in the squad, as you can see there. Not to mention the damage of the regular shooters, of course. But here's that, what is it? Almost 38 DPS piercing. And you see the high-powered shot does 140 sniper damage. Sniper damage basically means it will do full damage to all infantry types. But during all of that, sluggers are burning down gens, and he's coming to defend here is Bashful Pwny, but he has been struggling to keep up with map, considering he only had 3 units on the field. He goes for assault marines here, not for devastators, and storm boys on the way for Lews Therin, so he could see some really nasty engagements early on. Storm boys clashing with tactical marines, maybe a counter jump from the assault squad. And mastercrafted bolter coming into place. The Warboss is going to be important. He's got no war gear right now. Could see Bang Bang Hammer. Could see the boss pole to help out those storm boys. Or maybe just using the charge in first. Jump the storm boys in afterwards. They're not always the greatest initiation squad, storm boys, especially early when they're not going to disrupt or stun or anything. Not like assault marines where you can jump them in, knock everything around, and take a lot of punishment with your 400 hit points of heavy infantry per model. Storm boys don't have that luxury, but they do have power melee weapons, so they are going to be insanely dangerous to those tactical marines. He did spot the storm boys there, right? I assume he did. Power bash here from Bashful. Outmaneuvering the Orks well. Should be able to take down both generators at least. Now, does he defend or does he go for the trade? He's going to go for the trade, and he might get 3 generators down compared to the 2 of Bashful. Meanwhile, in the northwest, it's scouts versus sluggers. We haven't seen a lot of action whatsoever in the southeast. I thought the scouts were going to stay over there and try and hold it. Sluggers are still in range stance from when they bashed the power, though. They did take out 2 of the scouts. They actually did a hell of a lot of damage with their burners there. We have double shooters shooting up the node. Is he going to try and steal it here? No, he's going for the full bash. Warboss, meanwhile, has turned to engage the tactical marines. Gets them off the power, and he only got 1 of the generators there. Really good play to split off his Warboss and send him after the Techmarines and the tactical marines. Oh, they took out a Stormboy though, which leveled him, I think. He is going for the cap hit, shooting down a generator as he does so. He's not going to be able to finish it though. The Stormboy is going to jump and get both squads maybe? No, only knocks back one of the squads. Now he turns to engage. The Warboss is there. That stomp used to disrupt those guys. That's a special attack. Nicely done. And he forces them off. The assault marines there were able to be specialed because they were moving. And when you're moving, you lose melee skill. Just simulates the act of being chased down, I guess. And losing melee kind of defensiveness in that way. We have sluggers taking back Lews natural. Look at the map now for Bashful. Assault marines have made such a difference. Really freed up the scouts to run around and decap stuff and be annoying. Is he going to use a jump here? I don't think he should. He does. How much is their jump? Looks like it's a 50 energy jump or 55. So they can use it again quite quickly. Assault marines now on capping duty, having just jumped those shooter boys, I think. So he got 1 gen and the node and decapped. That was pretty nasty. But Bashful is tier 2 first, because Lews has upgraded both of the shooters. These guys even have the Knob Leader as well. Also burners and Stormboys, which are 35 power now, right? So we've got Assault Marines and the Master Guard Bolter. That was the only power spent in tier 1 from Bashful. Straight away though, we have Tactical Marines with their Sergeant, but that is double global buff Stormboys with user choppers and Ardboys, and that forces off both the Techmarine and the Tactical Marines and got a model off these guys as well. So I think that's pretty decent usage there of both of the buffs. They're not super expensive, you just gotta be mindful of the cooldown, I guess. Ork comes back out onto the field and makes his presence known, immediately capping up this northwestern side and this central wreck point. More gens up for Bashful. Does he go for the Dreadnought? I'm sure he'd love to, but look at his power. Gonna take him a while to get that much power. It's gonna be like 2.5 minutes, I think, thereabouts, before he'll have enough power for a Dreadnought. Stone Guard veterans on the field for Bashful Pwny. They have their Hellfire rounds loaded in, doing damage over time to light infantry and hero/commander units. So bad news for all of these Orks. That's pretty much his entire army. But here comes a war truck. Sluggers now taking shots from those Hellfire, and that's them running straight into a merciless dragon. That's a dead Slugger squad. Took his eyes off them, I think. I believe they were still in range stance there for a second as well. So we have the first casualty of the game. Lews Therin, the Warboss, losing his sluggers. Keeps with the war truck though. Does he replace the sluggers here? It's a plasma cannon from Bashful. That's a strange one. Is there a garrison over here to put it inside? I don't think there is. Maybe he'll put it in a garrison here, so he can shoot at the VP. 275, 284. 1-to-1 cap, and the Assault Marines, who made great use of their merciless strike. It's such an amazing ability. Obviously, Therin did not know they had the Sergeant on the way. Kind of popped up out of nowhere and smacked him in the face immediately with that merciless. But here comes a Death Dread. There's the high-powered shot on the Warboss. Does have his angry bits. Smack. Plasma cannon is doing what here? Going for the garrison, I think. Walks right past the Warboss. Some disruption, but the lead model still gets away. 275 to 267. The node, I think, will go down at least. One more burst, maybe. Yes. Plasma Cannon might get a nasty shot here. Doesn't seem to be firing at all. 275 to 267. Meanwhile, kicking off over on this west side. Stormboys made to run. No sign of this. They're not bleeding yet. But he does have a War Truck, a Death Dread, and more Sluggers up. Sluggers will be able to repair those two vehicles once they receive damage. And Burners and Bits is up on the Death Dread. So it's probably going to force off this big blob and go straight for the generators. Like, camp outside with the Death Dread and the War Truck reinforcing stuff. Bashful, realizing he cannot contest these two vehicles right now, gets the hell off the field. He does have Thunder and Lightning, so there's a Melter Bomb. Vengeance rounds from the Stone Guard veterans, and of course, that Plasma Cannon will do a hell of a lot of damage to any vehicles that it can hit. It's on capping duty right now. He actually stole this point, giving him massive power income for a short time. Look at that. Plus 89 per minute. Wow. Bashful's in trouble. Needs some AV pretty quickly. Lost the ability to get the missile launcher for his Tactical Marine since he upgraded him to Stern Guard. The Vengeance rounds do good DPS to vehicles, but they don't have that burst damage of a missile launcher. There's the Melter Bomb. Death Dread caught napping a little bit there. Gonna go after the Stern Guard veterans. Is he just trying to get out of there, I think? Where's the Rampage thing? I think he's waiting for this snare to wear off and then maybe use that Rampage ability to get out of there. Or not. Maybe he doesn't even need to. 230 to 267. Plasma Cannon shots. I think hit it a little bit. But the Death Dread is able to get away, and Bashful again retakes his power. Done a good job, Lews Therin, of putting pressure on that at the right time. Death Dread came out. Really great timing. Bashful had spent a lot of power on stuff. The Sergeants and the Thunder and Lightning and the Stern Guard, and got faced with a Death Dread and lost his power for a little while, which gave Therin huge power income. But here we see a Dreadnought from Bashful. I assume that's going to be a melee Dreadnought, at least at the start. Massive threat to those Storm Boys and those Sluggers and anything else he gets his hands on pretty much. But look at this. Power Claw is up for the Warboss. Now, I don't think he should take that and go after the Dreadnought with its melee resist and all the health. The Power Claw with its 50% of damage to vehicles would be better suited, I think, going after the Marines and shredding those. But we will see. Storm Boys now have their Knob Leader, and this guy is mean. Heavy melee, huge ammo. Sorry, it's a big chopper even. There it is, and he allows them to stun on landing. And now supported by that War Truck, they can reinforce in the field, as can these Sluggers and the Shooter Boys. So we might see big blobby armies from Lews Therin. He wants to keep everything together. Southeast is blue, but Lews is putting huge pressure on the northwest. And if he can keep this up, just keep this northwest corner, keep this central wreck maybe, and send a Warboss over as he's doing to contest his VP. I don't think Bashful has the units to spread out and contest everywhere. Storm Boys jump, but that's a lot of stuff there. He's in trouble, he's stunned, so he could not get into the War Truck there. Emperor's Fist stunning those Storm Boys, and I think they are pretty lucky to get out of there. I think everything switched targets to the War Truck after it showed up, and the War Truck does go down. Mark target now on the Death Dread, might be finished off by the Space Marine Dreadnought. That's some Signum armor. Warboss forces off the Plasma Cannon on the southeast corner. Now goes for the VP, but that was a good engagement for Bashful. Killed a bunch of Storm Boys, killed some Sluggers, and looks like he is going to finish off this Death Dread. 188252. Death Dread is just going to try and kills something. Nope, he's going after the Dreadnought. Down goes the Death Dread. We do get a Sync kill as well. Awesome. Tank Buster Barrage. Oh, unfortunately for them, it hit while he was doing a Sync kill, and units, I believe, take like 75% less damage while they're doing a sinkhole. I assume that's the same case of vehicles. Down goes the Techmarine though. Was he just shot to death by shooters? I'm not sure. He's only got one shooter left. Warboss on capping duty still, not using his power claw offensively. Does he focus the northwest again? The Dreadnought is a massive problem because of this. This guy has a wrist-mounted flamer as well. He might need some more AV. He's jumping the Storm Boys on the Sternguard veterans, which I think is the right choice. Dreadnought is taking a hell of a lot of damage from those tank busters. They do huge burst damage, but of course all of the missiles usually don't hit. But this is a dead Dreadnought. Just as I was saying, it's going to be a huge problem. Use your choppers and tank busters and everything is got onto it. And down it goes. And a nice juicy 55 red there. Or is it 54? I forget. 160 to 249. So big losses all around. War Truck and Death Dread go down for the Warboss. And the Techmarine loses his Dreadnought. And I think he wiped the whole power, so it wasn't the end of the world, but he still did not want to lose a Dreadnought. It's not worth a power bash to lose your Dreadnought. And another one here from the Warboss. Down goes, I think, everything here, or maybe not. Assault Marines can jump the tank busters. Storm Boys jump in the Sternguard. These guys are going to maybe struggle to make an impact. The Storm Boys are just jumping in every time. Good discipline there, because it's very tempting when you see Assault Marines jumping your stuff to just send everything onto them. But he's keeping his discipline and he is jumping those Sternguard veterans. Doesn't want those Hellfire rounds shooting his stuff too much. 146 to 242. And it's tier 3 for both players. Predator tank surely for Bashful, and jump these tank busters with your Assault Marines would be my guess. But you never know. That was the high-powered shot suppressing these guys. Might get a plasma cannon shot here. Charging up. And mark target. Oh, it massively overshoots because of the elevation difference, I think. They do have hard boys on them, but with mark target, that would have been a super nasty hit. Jumps for the stun and retreats out. 146 to 219. Tank busters down to 3 models, but he doesn't feel pressured to reinforce them since there are no vehicles on the field right now. Storm Boys are level what? Only level 2. Sternguard are almost level 3. Assault Marines at level 3. 1936 hit points. Good grief. Do we see an armor upgrade for the Warboss? We do not. Nob Squad, I guess, is the obvious choice here. If you get flash kits, you run the risk of them just getting jumped and then merciless. We'll see. I think both could do well. He does have the units to counter-initiate any jump. The Warboss and the Sluggers can do that while the Storm Boys jump something else. The Assault Marine is kind of running into trouble there. There's the Merciless. He cannot use the jump now though. No more energy. Use the choppers on the Sluggers. That's really good usage of the global. Can he get the Techmarine here? No. But does turn to engage the Assault Marines. Wow, look at that damage on retreat. That is nasty. Can't quite get a model though. Sternguard veterans do lose a model, but now they have that permanent sergeant because of the Sternguard upgrade, so don't need to repay power if they were to lose him. Just kind of switches to another model. The Nob Squad is on the way, and it is a Predator tank for Bashful. So, you're going to need to be careful with that thing. Tank busters are still in play, as are the Storm Boys, who can try and jump on rear armor with that heavy melee. Use chopper. Jumps again. Down goes the Techmarine. Mark target on the Storm Boys, and they jump out. Wow, talk about hit and run. He is actually really struggling to deal with those guys in general, especially since the Dreadnought was taken out. Still no shotguns for the scouts. He's seen the Predator tank has Lews Therin, knows that the tank busters are now important. Nob squad on the field. Elite melee squad that could go toe-to-toe with anything in the game, especially with their upgrades, which do make them incredibly expensive. But their Nob leader recently got buffed, of course, in 2.4. He now has like 1050 hit points by himself, I believe. Just that single model with over 1000 hit points takes their health up to 3650, as you can see, at level 1, and their health gets absolutely crazy at level 4, over 5000, I believe. I believe it was a 200 health increase for the Nob leader. I suppose it's time, both players under 150 VPs, to think about this northwest corner quite a lot. Maybe see a turret up there, perhaps. Though the tank buster barrage will do a lot to a turret. Rear arm hits on that Predator tank, but it is able to survive. He's seen the Nob squad now. Assault Marines far less likely to jump in. You see Lews keeping the Nob squad right near his tank busters, so if they do get jumped, anything that jumps them, namely the Assault Marines, have to deal with a Nob squad afterwards. Scouts get caught on retreat, and those huge choppers of the Nobs do so much damage per swing. They're really good on retreat, where you get a few swings to do your damage. So Bashful splits up to cap here. Stone Guard veterans with their 50% faster capping trait carried over from the Tactical Marines, able to complete the cap on their rec point. Looks like Lews does not want to engage. Yes, he is. Without his sluggers who are capping. No power up here for Bashful, just the naked power point, if you were. Predator tank does have the extra armor, but needs to keep it at maximum range if possible. Storm Boys are going to jump what here? They jump nothing, which was a bit strange. And now there's the marked target, and the damage from the autocannon of the Predator tank is going to be really dangerous. That was a really strange jump there from that Storm Boys squad. They jumped into nothingness, and it was a short jump as well. It's not like he queued it up a long time ago and there was nothing there anymore. Really strange jump there. Tank Buster Barrage does its thing. We've got Predator tank. It's turning out to be a really good choice for Lews Therin. Might want some more tank busters. Predator tank, good choice for Bashful, I should say, sorry. Lews might want some more tank busters. A double barrage would do wonders versus a tank if you can hit it. Got it down to around about half. How much health the Nob squad lost, or rather how much damage they soaked up. They are so good for that. No sign of the Techmarine switching to the plasma gun, and of course the Stone Guard veterans can't get a plasma gun either. Does still have that marked target though. I think he'd love another tank right now. Maybe drop a Venerable Dreadnought. That would be awesome to see. Does have the red for it, so he might freaking see one. Oh, down go the shooters. Assault Marines in the right place at the right time to finish them off there. Plasma cannon. Have we even seen this thing hit a single shot yet? I don't think we have. Scouts still doing their thing, and they do have their shotguns now. Has he spotted this though? Yes, just in time. Storm Boys are pretty bad at chasing, so they will just start capping. 79 to 139, some power up over here from Bashful. Didn't spot that before. It's a looted tank from Lews Therin. And surely we're going to see a Venerable drop. Please, let's see a Venerable drop. Right on the faces of that Nob squad, and they will... Well, they have Warboss buffs and the support of the Warboss himself, who has Power Claw and now heavy armor. But that's going to be a tough fight for them either way. Venerable Dreadnought does not mess around now that it has the melee resist. He can mark target them as well and weigh in with the Kraken rounds of the Stone Guard, since Nobs are regular heavy infantry, not super heavy. Here is a looted tank. Immediately goes for reinforced plating. So be interested to see if he goes straight after it with the Assault Marines and tries to shoot it down with a tank. I think that would be a mistake to try and chase it down. That would be so risky. Plasma cannon is caught and will go down on retreat. Yes, wow. Sluggers made very short work of that big engagement here. This is going to be important. 79 to 95. Nob squad are in there. They didn't have time to heal up completely though. Predator tank taking a lot of damage here. Hell of a lot of damage. Does back away, and a good engagement it looks like for the Warboss player. Warboss himself is capping. And everything forced to back the hell off out of there. 78 to 92. Global repair is up from Bashful. He's got a lot of resources now. What's he going to do? Could drop Terminators. Could drop a Venerable. He's dropping a something. We will see what it is. It's a Venerable. Awesome. Storm Boys do not want to fight that thing, especially without their Nob bleeding. Look at that damage from one hit. Does it tell me how much damage this thing does? No, it doesn't. I think it's around about like 117 heavy melee DPS or something like that. It's slightly more than a regular Dreadnought, but of course it has 1750 hit points at level 1, this thing, and can charge, which is a great escape mechanic for a melee walker. Or you can use it offensively, of course. I think it's better to use it to escape. Down goes a looted tank. Melter Bomb finishes it off. Nicely done from Bashful. Maybe wanted to back it off after that initial engagement on the northwest to repair it, but he did not. And now the Nob squad needs to fight a Venerable Dreadnought. Smack. Wow, took out the Nob leader and another model with that swing. Venerable already has half of his XP bar filled up to level 2. Good grief. Warboss is level 4 now. Looks like he took the VP then retreated out. 45 to 92. Venerable Dreadnought is a massive roadblock for Lews to overcome. He's getting some more tank busters, which I think is the obvious choice. He doesn't want to get looters because their stationary could get jumped. Just get shot down by the Stone Guard veterans pretty easily. So he's got double tank busters, a double barrage on this Predator tank, maybe even one at this much health would take it down. There's a global repair again from the Techmarine. It's 150 red, I think. It's a really nice global, especially in team games when you repair all of the friendly vehicles on the map. Techmarine is level 7. He has killed a lot of stuff with this Master-Guarded Bolter. Where are those double tank busters? There they are. Immediately engage that Dreadnought. Global repair has worn off. Can they hit the barrage though? Oh, he doesn't have the red to use the barrage. Does cost red. That's why it's so good, that ability. The Assault Marines are in there, but they can't tie up both of the squads. Warboss turns to engage them, and he doesn't have the red to use a buff on the Nob squad. Techmarine is actually repairing the Venerable. That's going to be a close fight. Venerable charges out, and the Nob squad just about get out, or do they? Assault Marines turn around and finish off the Nobs. I think that is GG right there for Lews. I think Bashful has taken this, and it's the Venerable Dreadnought that has made a huge amount of difference. Look at this now. He's gone for the Dark Age of Technology, and there's a GG from both players. Lews knows that it's over. Gives it 35%. No, 300 more health, 35% more damage. Wow. For the inspiration. That is a massive increase for the inspiration. So yeah, we had a 25 hit point Venerable Dreadnought at level 2. He needed that last engagement to go very, very well. But he didn't have the red to use in that last engagement there. Couldn't use the barrages and couldn't buff the Nobs with user choppers or something. Warboss got level 4 at the end. The Techmarine level 8. And there you have it, guys. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.